All right, so we're going to do our Student of the Month. If our audience is ready. Okay, this first student, I would like to nominate this student for the Carlton Innovation School Curiosity Student of the Month Award. This is a student who is committed to doing her best. She is always engaged in her learning and has a passion for learning new things. Her curiosity about new learning does not stop at 2:25 when she leaves school. Her curious mind is always wondering and seeking answers to her questions. During our social studies unit on family, we were exploring family traditions and culture and how those traditions are influenced by our ancestors' cultures and our past. This student and another student made an instant connection. They became extremely curious about each other's family trees and whether they were connected by their past. Her curiosity took her on a quest to find answers. She went home and asked about her family and family names. Together, we used the internet to research those family names to locate even more answers to questions about these ancestors and their countries of origin. This enthusiasm crossed over into reading workshop, where this student completed even more independent research on family, names, and traditions. She demonstrated during P2 that she embraces challenges and has a drive to learn new things. During our nonfiction writing unit, this student selected an independent topic to do research. She wanted to write a teaching book about cooking. This topic was short-lived, as she then decided on a more serious topic, one that she learned a lot about during her second grade year. She decided to write a book about worrying. Worrying is a very normal response that we all experience, but this student experienced some worries and anxieties that made her stronger. So strong that she put together a book that may help others at Carlton who may need some help to overcome feelings of worry. If you would like to talk to her about worry and how to deal with it, she has some great advice that might help you. Ask her if you can't read her book. I am confident that this student is destined to continue to do great things. She is driven by her curiosity and will no doubt continue to work hard and challenge her own learning. I hope you agree that this student should earn the Curiosity Award at the Carlton Innovation School. And this student is Sophia Moore. Has two nominations. So Carlton School is fortunate to have some of the greatest community members a school could ask for. We have so many students who go out of their way to help others without any prompting or hesitation, and this student is one of our unsung heroes. As the year has gone on, I have recognized one of my students as one of the kindest humans I have come to know. For a P2 student, he demonstrates the compassion of an old soul, and it is truly admirable. It is the little gestures I started to notice right away that inspired me to nominate this student for the Community Award. It began when I noticed him allowing others to lead the line when it was his turn because they really wanted to be first. He didn't want to see them upset, so he would always pretend it was their turn. It then progressed into noticing him being constantly aware of others' feelings and going out of his way to comfort them when they were upset, or do something simple like crack a joke to try to make them smile or laugh. Bringing joy to others appears to be at the forefront of his mind with all he does. Whenever we play games, he is the first to try to make anything into a tie, or sometimes let others have a chance to win so they can celebrate and be proud of themselves. This is an innate quality that cannot easily be taught, and I feel so lucky to have the opportunity to teach him. At the beginning of the year, each student wrote a hope and dream for the school year, and upon discussing what this student hoped and dreamed he would accomplish this year, he mentioned to me he would someday like to be a Student of the Month. I am so proud to say that this student has earned this award with flying colors. Carlton is truly a better place because of students like him. It is without hesitation that she nominates this student for community. There's another one. At Carlton, we strive to have students be good community members. We can teach students how to be kind and be a good friend and create a positive community, but there are some students who just do this naturally. The student I am nominating for this month's Community Award is one of those kids. He is a student who is a good community member because it is the right thing to do. It would be very easy to miss him doing these things because he does it to make others happy or feel comfortable, not to be rewarded. This is exactly why it took me until now to nominate him. The first time I overheard a conversation with him and another student, he was trying to find a solution to the other student's problem. He consistently shows empathy for others and tries to help them find a way to feel better. Whether it is through giving suggestions like, let's take turns, or you go first, giving up something he wants for others to be happy, or making someone who is sad laugh, he is always there for his classmates. He lives by treat others the way you want to be treated, and will often use this lesson to help others, or to suggest how characters in a book should act. Throughout the 3 years that I've had him in my class, he has grown so much and has worked so hard to become a better community member. He can't stand to see his friends or classmates upset. He goes out of his way to comfort those who are. I have no doubt in my mind that this student will make a big impact on many lives as he continues to grow. It is great pleasure that I recommend him for Student of the Month's Community Award, and that student is Liam Bullock. The last Student of the Month is Effort. This student is a wonderful candidate for the Effort Award. Every day, the student enters school with a big smile on her face and gives a huge hug to all her teachers. She shares what is going on in her life and asks others what is happening with them. She works hard in all of her school subjects and has made great gains in all academic areas. She is an engaged learner, paying attention to all lessons. She frequently raises her hand to participate in classroom discussions. She stays on tasks and completes all assignments. She often challenges herself in her academics, writing longer and stronger essays and reading books that make her think and make her feel. On top of that, she is a kind and caring individual who helps others whenever she can. At the end of the day, she, once again, comes to give her teachers another hug and wishes them well. She is a true pleasure to have in class. The Student of the Month for Effort goes to Layla Abula. Before I turn this over to Ms. Felix. So, it happens every year. Oh, actually I have another presentation before Mrs. Felix, but every year it becomes a sad time for some of us because we have to say goodbye to some of the people that we have worked with for a year, a few years, and this is the time that we say goodbye. And we have a few staff members who are leaving at the end of the year, and we want to wish them well. So when I call them up, I'd like them to come up and just get a little token for us, and you guys can all say goodbye. So the first one is Mrs. Fisher. Simon, Mrs. Simon. The next one is Mr. Dragon. And finally, we have to say goodbye to Mr. Maycomber. So when you see these guys in the hallway, make sure you wish them well on their next endeavors, because we're going to miss all of them, and we do wish you all well.
We're going to miss you too.
Right? Mrs. McKenna?
You come.
Did you forget? And then you're going to introduce Miss Felix again.
All right, so I had the pleasure of working with a few different students who wanted to make the Carlton School a better place. So can you tell us how?
We made a survey for all of the E1s and E2s and the teachers to take about like what they thought was the biggest problem at Carlton. And the biggest problem, it seemed like people were thinking, was bullying and being disrespectful. So we decided to do a project, and we came up with, everyone thought of a few, and then we picked our top one for everyone, we voted, and we picked to do a bulletin board about bullying, and it's called the Bulletin Board. Grace and I made the part of the bulletin board that is like explaining what it is and why we did it and how to use it.
I made a paper on the difference between bullying and being mean.
I made a group photo project, so a lot of the students took pictures and it helped everyone feel closer and made everyone happy.
I made these pieces of paper called compliment coupons, and what you can do with them is they're all stripped off individually, and you can rip them off of a piece of paper that's on the bulletin board, and you can give them to someone that if you saw them show an act of kindness, or if you just want to compliment them for something, then you can take one and write down who it's for, and then you can write down why you gave it to them.
Okay, so if you're in E2, you might remember in lunch, when you got your photo taken, it was like a bunch of the props and stuff.
Yeah.
So basically what we did, and Lucas talked a bit about this, is we developed them and put them on the bulletin board. And I believe, I'm not sure though, but I believe Miss Beiser is going to put them in the yearbook, so you all will have copies of the photo.
You can find the bulletin board in the hallway outside the office. Yeah. erase the compliment coupons and then write a new one and give it to someone else so they can keep going. But there are also more than one.
Can we give a round of applause for their hard work?